And I got to a point with 21 miles, I just really wanted to quit. It was really like a metaphor for life because they sentenced me to 55 to life and I didn't know if I was ever going home. I went from no possibility going home to knowing I'm going home, but just not win. And that win took 5 years. But I'm gonna tell you something how life works. Like you can make lemonade out of anything. During that 5 years, my value shot up. During that 5 years, I completed college. And so my value went up. I used that time to just keep working on me. And then I just kept taking self-help groups. I never took it for granted that I'm getting out. The first time I went to prison, I made a conscious decision, I'm not coming back, I'm gonna go do good. And I meant it. I went home and worked, got jobs, it lasted like a year and a half, but I never dealt with the trauma. So when life wasn't being fair, I went back to the bull crap. I wasn't ready for it, I never healed. The underlying stuff was still there, right? And the career wasn't there. And so I didn't have the things I needed to succeed. I made a decision. I tried to keep it real with that decision as much as I could. But when the circumstances got hard, the decision fell apart because the trauma was not healed, right? And so we have to have these conversations. Somebody has to model that behavior so we could talk about what's really going on. The first time somebody told me to take a group is Maladi Islam, which is like a Muslim version of NANAA. And I'm thinking, dude, I got 55 to life. I've never used drugs in my life. What do I need to take that for? He's like, yo, come on, I'm telling you, man, it's gonna be good. I'm like, all right, OG, man, I'll show up. And I show up. And they ask me questions I never thought of before. When you dig under the surface, it's really some childhood trauma. And so they asked me questions to help me identify that. And then once I started having these conversations, I'm like, yeah, but I want to take it out the drug lens. And so I got into restorative justice. And restorative justice, man, at 40-something years old, I realized why I was like on some stand your ground crap. Because I ran when my little brother got shot, right? And every day after that, I felt like a coward. And I felt like I wanted a do-over. I wanted to make up and show that I'm not somebody that would run and leave his little brother behind, right? And so I didn't even know that was my underlying compulsion, right? Until I knew that I couldn't heal. But once I realized that's what it was, I feel like it's important to model that behavior because if we don't have these conversations, if we don't ask ourselves these questions, then we don't really know why. And when I finally got out, like my value was up, right? If I'd have went home before and when I wanted to, it'd have been different. It'd have been a much of a different struggle. Now it's like, geez, it's easy. I'm in demand. It's different, right? And so I just use the time wisely, that's all. All these things just became possible by building with community and changing my behavior. And so I just encourage you to take advantage of this community. But there's a new pressure when you get out. Now you can't let the community down. You can't mess up, you can't go back. You can't go back to your old ways. Because now this community invested in you, they vouch for you, they help you get out. And they help you make sure you make it when you get out. And you got help out there. And so this running is not just running, it's community building. And this is the most powerful thing you can do, bro. Why run alone when you can run with a community?